another car show that I personally really enjoy is Pole Position. I don't know if do you guys remember it? It's really good. A lot of people put it down and they say that Kuma's a little raccoon type animal that's on there, and you've got the little kid Daisy, the little girl. I do not find these characters to be annoying. Now, flashing back to Mask, I find Scott and T-Bob to be like enough to make me want to stick an ice pick in my ear so I don't have to hear them talk. But this show it's only 13 episodes, but and they're all standalone. There's no arc or anything, but it's really cool. I think they've got little mysteries. It's kind of like Scooby-Doo. It's very like family friendly and everything, but it's fun.
Yeah. There's another car show though that's not as fun. Turbo Teen. Let's just go into this intro real fast because I don't want to talk about it. Okay, I can't take anymore. I'm sure you've seen the Robot Chicken where he's in college and he gets drunk at a frat party, collapses on the sidewalk under a heat lamp because it's when he gets hot, turns into Turbo Teen, and then his friends start making out in his back seat. It's real weird. It's just a very strange concept. We get to talk about rich kids now.
Yeah, there was this whole thing in the 80s, and I guess it's leading back from the 70s, where it's like rich kids. I don't really quite understand that. Like, I guess it's sort of like watching Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, but if you're a kid. So I'm just using Richie Rich as sort of the prototype for these. This show actually had, I think, 2 seasons, or maybe more than that. I can't remember. But this show, does anyone remember Goldie Gold and Action Jack?
This had to have been just Paris Hilton's favorite show, like ever.
Yeah.
She probably modeled her whole life after it. Yeah.
She does like these insane things. Like she has her own jet, she has her own spaceship, she has her own like space station. She's got a giant basically. She's super rich, and she's also like friends with poor people because she's so nice. So this is a really weird clip that sort of shows that.
Honey, is that you?
Hobo Joe, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm a hobo. Not to interrupt the reunion, but you didn't happen to see a couple of Inca warriors run by, did you? Those guys didn't run by. They landed out of here in a black limo.
Thanks, Joe. You've been an enormous help.
For you, sweetheart, and...
Hope you can find something to eat in the dumpster. See you later.
No, it didn't.
No, it's just sort of the idea of like super rich kids like going around doing stuff, but then they interact with all these people who could potentially use their help, but they don't really help them at all. It's just they're mostly there to solve mysteries.
Right, they're happy they don't help them. It's like,
right.
Yeah. Be happy in your poverty.
So then the next level of that would be this show, which is like 90210, the cartoon.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I had never seen this one either. This was hard to watch. It's, I don't like any of the characters. The main character, of course, is the blonde white girl. Because those are always, like, the blonde girl is always the good one, the main character. And then the brunette there in the red dress is the evil girl. But they act exactly the same. So I don't really know, other than their hair color, what makes one. Like, they both whine if they don't get to do exactly what they want to do. They both have their own car and their own mansion and their own pets, and it's just ridiculous. So.
Yeah.
Right. So the one interesting thing is, I think we may have found Pidge's other brother.
Saber Rider. This was based on the anime Star Musketeer Bismarck. If you get a chance and someone eventually subtitle Star Musketeer Bismarck, we can all enjoy it together. But if you can't find one like that, then you watch Saber Rider and the Star Sheriffs. It doesn't age well because the big robot's name is Ramrod. I'm just going to leave that there. We're going to move on.
There was a lot of other anime that was adapted.
Yeah, Captain Harlock.
Captain Harlock, Macron 1, up in the corner up there, Leo the Lion, which was one of my favorites, and Space Jesus, or Ulysses 31. That's the French-Japanese combo one, where they basically took Ulysses and put him in space. So it's the Odyssey in space.
Now, Mighty Orbots, this show was so cool. It was sort of in the Voltron vein, combining robots that form a large, massive gestalt. The thing about it is that, of course, the robots started at human size, and they had the scaling problems like Transformers, where when they formed Mighty Orbots, suddenly they were like as tall as, the Empire State Building. It was like, how'd you do that? But it only lasted 13 episodes, not because it wasn't popular, but because Tonka sued them. Tonka said that, because they had licensed Machine Robo to make GoBots, they felt like this was too close to their concept, which is weird because Mighty Orbots isn't ripping off Machine Robo. It's actually ripping off of Godmars on the right, and Godmars was not licensed by Tonka for GoBots. So they flagrantly sued them, and the production company for Mighty Orbots was like, we're just not going to deal with this, so they just shut down. So that's why we have 13 episodes. They've never been on DVD. They are on YouTube right now if you want to check them out. It's a good show. So Silverhawks.
It's for you, man.
So we got Silverhawks here. One season, it was kind of a spin-off of Thundercats thematically, and then of course they had another spin-off called Tiger Sharks after that. It was a really cool show with really great design work. It's detective solving cases in space. With really shiny toys that they made with it, that the silver would rub off on your fingers as a kid, and then your toy would be like a clear yellowy plastic, and that sucked. But it was a really memorable show. I heard you all applause when you saw the intro.
Kids love dinosaurs. So there are a whole bunch of dinosaur shows. Dino Riders, Dinosaurs, Dink the Little Dinosaur. But oddly, the only one that got more than one season was Denver the Last Dinosaur.
Yep. The pink Wayfarer sunglass-wearing dinosaur that could play guitar.
Yep.
Oh, so this is where we get into games that became television shows. I don't know why you'd want to have a cartoon based off of badminton or racquetball, but that didn't apply when it came to laser tag games. And Laser Tag Academy was just another marketing gimmick to sell laser tag, even though you didn't need a mythology. You wanted to just go out and play laser tag. And then Photon was this, I know we're the last panel here, so I know we're at our time, but there's nothing coming in behind us. So just give us 2 more minutes and we'll get through this presentation. You got to see this. Photon.
I'm sorry, I thought you wanted to
No. Photon, this is, I know in my 37 years on this planet that I've never done drugs. I'm pretty sure. But Photon, there's a clip here. You just got to play it.
I don't even know what that was. I love the Susudio song.
Did you all see that?
Yeah.
Because I saw that. It was a live-action show that looked like it was filmed on a full-format VHS camcorder. It looked more like cheap adult films of the 80s straight-to-video than it did a real show. And it was trying to, pimp Photon to kids. It was a mess.
Another show that interacted with TV was Captain Power.
Yeah, in an age where parents were trying to get their kids away from the television, a toy company decided to make a television show that wanted kids in front of it using their toys at the TV.
Yeah, it interacted. Does everybody know what this thing does?
Yeah.
The toys? It's really
Yeah,
cool.
and then...
Potentially the weirdest adaptation of a toy into a cartoon, though, is this one.
Rubik's, the Amazing Cube. He was a, I don't remember if he was an alien. I think he was an alien, and
Yep.
the intro is the best part because you got these kids in the woods on a hill over their suburban neighborhood, which looks like it came out of E.T. But this dude in a horse-drawn gypsy wagon comes flying by with a treasure chest, and the treasure chest pops out, busts open, and Rubik's comes out, and then this one kid's a little genius, and he makes Rubik's, and Rubik's is like, hello, and then he flies them back off to their, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, It's the 80s. I don't recall horse-drawn gypsy wagons behind my house driving around.
Stranger danger.
Yeah. And then we have Centurions. This show was fun because it was Jake Rockwell, Ace McCloud, and Tom Selleck saving the world. And they wore exosuits. And they had their weapons beamed down onto the exosuits by a satellite. The funny part is that every time they would go into danger, they wouldn't bother to suit up first. So it was like this false suspense where it was like, oh, we're in the castle. Crap, we didn't put on our suits. I hope I got bars because we're going to have to beam these down via satellite. It was a mess.
So it's the Iron Man pilot.
It's the Iron Man, yeah.
Actually, in Centurions, they had multiple devices, like different types of armor. I mean, they could, if you added all, they couldn't put all of them on at the same time.
Right.
So, but they didn't know what would happen when they got there, so they would just get beamed down as needed.
Right.
Yeah.
A Centurions fan and just wonderful apologist, ladies and gentlemen. That's awesome. So the next one is Sky Commanders, which was like, hey, let's take G.I. Joe mask and make them zipline enthusiasts because that's the best way to fight a war. Is not with airplanes or tanks, but with zip lines. Yeah.
It's just a little weird.
And
then going off of the weird idea thing is more really bizarre things marketed to children. So we're going to start with the least weird, which is Sectors.
Yeah.
Creepy.
They're
Yeah.
super creepy, weird. Like, okay, kids like bugs. I mean, but these guys are a little bit weird. I personally love the toys with the weird little hand puppet, like
Right. Right.
whatever they are. They're awesome.
And then the most controversial to me was Inhumanoids. A bunch of drilling crews open up hell, and 2 miles down, and these demons come out, and these demons start destroying the planet.
That
And one of
thing's
them,
name is Decompose.
yeah, he put you in his rib
It's-
cage and you rot.
It's really messed up.
Yeah. Probably the most messed up show is Spiral Zone, where you have an evil scientist who has put this zone over the planet in a spiral pattern, and everyone within the zone turns into zombies, and they do his bidding. And then these G.I. Joe type guys have to rescue them, and it's really scary.
It's really messed up. Like that little kid is in an opening, and it's just like all these people are affected. They're trapped in this zone. It's just creepy. Okay, I don't know. Does anybody remember this cartoon besides me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I actually, not only did I see this cartoon and really like it for some weird reason, but I had the Sport Billy lunchbox. This was a cartoon made by Filmation for German television that was all about sportsmanship. And he had this like Mary Poppins bag that he could pull out any sporting equipment that he needed and solve problems across the galaxy.
Starcom. This show was great because the toys were great, and the show itself also was a mature, serious show about space exploration. It was sort of sponsored slightly by NASA.
Yeah, by the Young Astronauts Council.
Yeah, like the first episode is really about these part of their crew getting caught on a space station and the air is running out, and they're in a nebula trying to hide from the enemy while they're also trying to save their oxygen supply. And I'm sitting there going, wow, that's deep. Like that's a really involved show. Like it's a very good show.
Yep.
And
so this one and the last one will be the two shows that if you haven't seen them, we would definitely recommend you check them out.
Yeah.
The last one being Galaxy Rangers.
yeah,
Very, very well written show, very well animated.
it has early CGI technology built in. Jerry Orbach voices the main character, so if you like Lumiere or Law and Order, you'll like listening to this show. It's very Firefly in the way that it's sort of space, but there's Western tropes still around. It's just this and Starcom are both now on DVD, and if you haven't seen them, I don't think you'll lose. We're on YouTube. We're called RetroBlasting. If you guys haven't heard of us before, we would love to keep in touch with you through either our Facebook, YouTube, or our website, retroblasting.com. This has been fun. Thank you so much. If you could rate this panel, and so we can come back next year. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it.
Cards up here.
Yeah, we have business cards up here.